The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. Friedrich Nietzsche. In the quiet halls of Arab households, behind the delicate veils of tradition and the thunderous expectations of family honor, a silent rebellion is erupting. It's not always loud. Sometimes it's just a look, a decision, a defiant yes whispered into a phone, knowing full well the hell that might follow. Arab women, daughters of dignity, carriers of centuries of cultural pride, are breaking from their bloodlines to follow something forbidden, their love for black men. This is not just about romance, this is about war, between old and new, between obedience and authenticity, between racial superiority cloaked as protection and the raw pull of human desire. This is the story of love where love is not allowed. Chapter 1: The Prison of Honor. In many Arab cultures, a daughter is born into a fortress, her worth, her choices, her body, all guarded by the reputation of her family. Honor isn't just a concept, it's currency, and the cost of dishonor is exile, sometimes emotional, sometimes literal. The idea of an Arab woman disobeying her family to marry a black man is more than taboo. It's betrayal, not because of his character, not because of his soul, but because of his skin. Let that sink in. We're not talking about one or two conservative uncles. We're talking about an entire system of colorism, classism, and xenophobia, hidden behind the facade of family love. The same families who proudly quote the Quran. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you, are often the same ones who erupt in rage when their daughter brings home a black man. Why? Because it was never about God. It was about control. Chapter 2: The Myth of Arab Purity. There is a deep, painful irony in this. Arab culture, especially in the Gulf and Levant, has long maintained a myth of purity, a delusion that their bloodlines must not be tainted. Many proudly trace their ancestry to noble tribes, scholars, or religious icons. And yet, this same culture has been shaped, influenced, and even built upon African blood, whether through trade, migration, or the ugly history of slavery that many still refuse to confront. To reject black men as unworthy is to erase the historical reality of how Arab and African lives have always intersected. Let's be clear, this isn't just cultural. This is psychological. This is trauma disguised as tradition. Many Arab fathers are more willing to see their daughters marry a white foreigner who doesn't share their language, their religion, or their values, than a black man who might pray at the same mosque, fast the same Ramadan, and love their daughter with honor. Why? Because white proximity is seen as progress, while blackness is still viewed as regression. That's not tradition. That's internalized colonialism. Chapter 3: Blackness as Danger, Blackness as Desire. Here's the twist. The same Arab cultures that demonize black men for marriage have fetishized blackness in secret. From old slave songs to modern TikTok thirst traps, black men have often been simultaneously feared and desired. He's too dark for dinner with the parents, but he's perfect for the fantasies played out in the shadows. This contradiction of rejecting black men publicly while desiring them privately reveals something dark and ugly, that the issue was never about incompatibility. It was about shame, about maintaining an image of power, about hiding the very emotions that make us human. And yet, despite the shame, despite the warnings, despite the threats, more and more Arab women are choosing love over fear. They are choosing real over respectable. Chapter 4: The cost of courage. Let's not romanticize rebellion. These women pay a heavy price. Some are disowned, some are harassed. Some are locked in their homes like prisoners. Some are told they've killed their fathers, that they've ruined the family name, that no other sibling will ever marry. Because of her, others are quietly threatened with honor-based violence, and yet they persist. Because they've tasted a love that sees them as human, not property. Because they're tired of asking for permission to be alive. One woman I interviewed, a 26-year-old from Kuwait, told me, "My father said he would rather see me dead than pregnant with a black child." I told him, then he better prepare. My funeral. That's not drama, that's reality. And it's happening in thousands of households across the Middle East, North Africa, and even the diaspora. Chapter 5. Rewriting the Script. It's not just about Arab women, it's also about black men. Because too often black men have been positioned as unfit for marriage by cultures that ignore their dignity, education, faith, and humanity. But here's what terrifies the gatekeepers of tradition. When a black man carries himself with honor, presence, intelligence, and integrity, the lie collapses. The lie that said he was dangerous. The lie that said he was less than. The lie that said his love was unworthy. Arab women who love black men are rewriting the script. They're choosing connection over colorism. They're choosing alignment over appearances. They're choosing to build homes based on truth, not tribal expectations. But the fight isn't over. Because every time one of these couples walks hand in hand in the streets of Amman, Riyadh, or Cairo, they are making a political statement, even when all they wanted was peace. Chapter 6. The New Tribe. A new generation is rising. A tribe of the disobedient, the defiant, the daughters who said no to fear and yes to love, and the sons who said no to erasure and yes to showing up with pride. Together they are forming a new kind of family, one not based on lineage, but on liberation. And let's not pretend this is easy. Love in the face of racism isn't soft. It's spiritual warfare. It's late-night tears. It's navigating two worlds, one that birthed you and one that sees you. But it's also joy. It's children born into the fullness of two heritages. It's breaking cycles. It's choosing to create beauty where there was once only silence. To every Arab woman watching this, you don't owe your life to your family's illusion. You are not a souvenir. You are not your cousin's future bride. You are not the bridge. They'll burn to keep their image safe. And to every black man, walk in love, but walk with spine. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to beg for validation. You are the mirror that tradition fears. To both, you are not alone. You are part of a movement deeper than marriage. You are restoring what racism tried to kill. You are choosing love where others chose lies, and that makes you dangerous. So I leave you with this challenge. Will you live a life that your ancestors wouldn't dare imagine? Or will you settle for a peace that requires your silence?